Hi, name is Rupam, and I've been working in the IT industry for the last 10 years. I wanted to share some realizations that I've had of late during my tenure. Number one realization in if you're working in IT industry is earning a higher salary does not guarantee your success or does not mean that you're successful, because you never know for how long the salary is going to last. So initially, when I had started my journey in IT industry back in the year 2016, at that point in time the salary was very less, because uh, I'm obviously I'm not from IIT or IIMs. I'm from a private college which hardly people know the name. So I started with whatever I got at that point in time, and my thought process at that point was how to increase my salary. But little did I know that and by the way, eventually I did increase my salary, but hardly little did I know that now I would be thinking how to sustain that salary, because this is a time where AI has taken up the market like anything. All the new requirements which are coming along is completely into generative AI, and people are talking about automation and all that. So a higher salary does not necessarily guarantee you success, and also when you progress in your career and in your personal life, your expenses tend to go up. Earlier I was staying in a PG all alone, with one room, or with a sharing or sharing the room with someone. So the rent of the PG was also a little bit less. But now, as people progress, or as I had progressed, I thought of staying in a 1 BHK, and then gradually move to a 2 BHK. So automatically the rents and all will move up, right? So the thing is, higher salary in IT industry does not guarantee you success. It does not. So all you can think is how you can sustain that salary, and eventually with that salary, how you can buy some asset, which maybe down the which maybe, let's say, after 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, it might give me some sort of financial freedom. So I think anyone who has started their IT journey as of now, who has started their career in IT industry as of now, should think in those lines, that first you increase your salary with your skill set. You move to new bigger roles, move to different companies, and then start thinking of buying some kind of asset which will help you uh, attain financial freedom in some years time. That's number one realization. So my second realization is technologies will come and go, and you can't really do anything about it, rather than to upskill yourself with the new technology. So back in the day when I had started my career in 2016, I remember I was into MIS reporting, and I had to learn a lot of Excel. And with that Excel, in that Excel, there is an option called VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and pivots and all that. But now, apart from Excel, I had to learn Power BI and a couple of other visualization tools like Visio, and a little bit of Tableau also. But back in the day, I did not learn all these things because it was not required. Also, I remember that back in the day, I had to study SQL also, because there was a lot of demand for SQL people, especially the DBAs, SQL DBAs, the database administrator who had done MySQL, or in some other SQL platforms. There was a lot of demand for that. But now, along with that SQL, I think even more than SQL, I think Python is the main language if you want to start your career into data. So yeah, so technologies will come and go, and we can't really do anything about it. So instead of asking this question, that is my skill still relevant, I think we should ask ourselves this question, that what is the new skill that I'm going to learn today, as per the requirement. Because I see a lot of requirement coming into generative AI, automation, machine learning, and all that stuff, which quite frankly I don't know as of now, but I have to work on those skills as well. But yeah, that is something that I'm really looking forward to, and looking forward to, as in learning those new skills. But yeah, that is something that I have realized, that technologies will come and go, but we have to stay relevant uh, by taking up that responsibility of learning new technology. So my third realization is your company cannot be your identity. Hear me out. Your company cannot be your identity. In your company, you're doing a job. Yes, your company will give you that opportunity where you would want to work. Your managers and teammates might support you in the work that you are doing. In due course of time, you will gain some experience, no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, your identity does not belong to your company. Your identity belongs to you as a person, the communication that you can do with the people around you, the communication that you can do with your client in terms of understanding the requirement, the technical stack that you know, or you can solve the problem of your client with the technical knowledge that you have, the presentation skills that you might possess via a PowerPoint, maybe via Visio, or for that matter, by a simple Excel. So that is your identity. That is your professional identity. That is what you do, and that will stay with you for the next, as long for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, for as long as you work, and in whichever companies you work. That is more important. So do not make that company your identity. Instead, work on your skills, build networks with people in your team, outside your team, build your technical knowledge, build your business acumen, and make that your identity. So your company cannot be your identity, but you evolve yourself out of that zone that I am working in so and so company, and hence this is my identity. No, your identity is something which you will define with your personality and with your technical skills that you bring to the table. My fourth realization is burnout doesn't mean that you have to collapse. Hear me out again. Burnout doesn't mean that you have to collapse. What I'm trying to say is, suppose you have worked on a tight deadline, you have not had your greatest of the sleeps, and you really have worked very hard for the last 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month or so. And on one day, you are feeling that you are burnt out and you need to take an off, or you are having a severe headache or something like that. Sometimes, what happens is, when you are working day in and day out in the same organization, in the same client project, or whatever your deliverables, you wake up in the morning, you go to office, you log in, you do your deliverables, come back home, fall asleep again. Next day morning, the same routine you are repeating day in and day out. And by doing so, you come at a point where you become completely silent, you become numb. you know you are you do not wake up to any kind of challenges, which is or you do not show any kind of resistance, or you do not share any inputs to anything which your manager is asking you to do. You just show up, you do your work, and you come back home and you go to sleep, and that's all. This is another kind of burnout. If that is happening with you, then please take that vacation with your friends, take some time off, go to a place, watch that movie, watch your favorite web series, take some 2 days off and do nothing. Just sit back in your home. Just try to rethink what exactly you're doing, how you would want to progress in your career for the next 2 years, 3 years, or something like that. Do some do some kind of self analysis. You know, that's how you come out of that burnout zone. That's how you make yourself more available to the client. That's how you make yourself available to the challenges which is coming around you. you know so yeah, burnout is something which is not at all desired. In case you are facing these symptoms or these issues, some mental blockages or something like that, please take your time off. My fifth realization is experience is your superpower, and we all have that superpower. When we start our career in IT industry, we get tagged along to some project. Maybe we don't enjoy that project, maybe we do, I don't know, but it depends from one person to the other. But suppose you are in a project where you are not enjoying that much, the client is very demanding, the skills that they are asking for, maybe you don't have the sufficient skills, maybe you are upskilling yourself at one side and you are trying to deliver to the client project at the other side. So it brings you into such a challenging situation where you are thinking that it's not worth it, it's not worth that effort. But trust me, when you are working in these conditions day in and day out for 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, when all these small experiences, not so good experiences, when you are working in such situations for a long time, your mind, your subconscious mind automatically gets accustomed to these situations, and you develop a mechanism or a coping mechanism, which is called as experience. That is how you gain that experience. That is how you uh, that is how you deal with people, that is how you deal with client, that is how you upskill yourself to learn new technologies, that is how you grow in your career. And suppose 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, when you will get up to a senior level and there will be junior people, some 2 to 3 people reporting to you, they are fresh out of college, they are facing a difficulty, they are sharing the difficulty with you, you can guide them, you can tell them that okay boss, this is what is the situation, this is the situation and you have to do it in this way. And how you can guide them is because of the experience that you have. And for this experience, the other company, if you want to switch to a different company, they are going to pay you for this experience that you have over the years. So we all have a superpower, that is our experience. So that is my fifth realization that I had. So those were some of my realizations which I wanted to share. If you happen to like those realizations, or if you find it relatable, then please like the video, and also do subscribe to my channel. And also please let me know what have been your realization in the comment section below. Thank you. Bye for now.